Had a couple days now. Just what sort of like the excitement building to get what you guys have been working towards all year off the ground here?
Yeah, I mean, extremely exciting. I think this is why you play the game. Playing meaningful games in the playoffs, and I'm really excited. I think there's a buzz around the room, and guys are fired up.
For you, you have 3 games of playoff experience, which is not a ton there or a lot. What do you kind of remember from that initial experience about what maybe the differences are when things ramp up that way?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I stepped in and obviously try to help the team out as best as I can as a 19-year-old, and I just remember so much emotion and so much so intense, and like every play matters, and I think the playoffs are amplified, and you're getting everyone's best, and everyone's playing 100%, and it's really cool to play in, and obviously a privilege. It's hard to get there, and I think guys are really fired up.
Can you like sort of take from that experience those 3 games? Like, are you glad you have that heading into this time where you play a much bigger role now?
Yeah, of course. I think I grew a lot in the 2 years of playing, and I think just to see it, and I know in my mind what the speed looks like, and how fast the game is, and how people come after you, and how physical it is, and I know that going into it, and I think I've learned how to put myself in good positions to stay healthy, and just really exciting time.
What do you remember about Carolina, playing in Carolina, how tough it is with the fans there?
Yeah, I mean, rowdy building, really fun place to play. Obviously, they don't really change much. They have the same style play, and we know that around this room, and we got to try and expose that, and just play our game.
You've been in several rowdy college-like atmospheres too. Is it similar to that? Because I can tell you, outdoors prior to games, I mean, the cookouts and everything that's going on is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, completely different, but I've played in some pretty cool games. Played in Czech against Czech, played in Canada against Canada, Finland against Finland. Obviously college crowds, but nothing's like the NHL playoffs, and 20,000 fans screaming at you, and cheering you on, and there's nothing like it, and it's why you play the game, to play in meaningful games, and try to win the cup.
Thank you, Luke. This unique thing where your name is already on the Stanley Cup, but you're getting ready to play your first playoff game. What is the excitement level for you, maybe having been on that journey in a different way, but now able to come in and do what you got to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool for me because I've been in the situation of with the team and around the buzz, and it's a whole new world during playoffs. So I got a bunch of guys that I see how they went through it and figured out how to do it, and ended up finishing it. So I kind of know what to expect, and I'd like to think that I have a playoff style game. So I'm pretty excited to start the first one.
What are some of the things that you remember from watching and sort of learning through that process?
It's kind of just a shortened season. There's a lot of ups and downs, shift by shift. It's really when teams really get together, because everybody, sometimes in the season guys want to get points, or be on certain things, where playoffs is pretty much egoless. Everything's just for the team to win, just advance one more, take it day by day. So I'd just say the things that I've seen the most is just everyone being egoless and binding all together and trying to get it done.
You say, your game is kind of built for that playoff type of mentality. What are you most excited for to put that into practice?
It's a tenacious style of hockey. A lot of forechecks. I mean, it's so simplified. Every mistake is magnified, and just being able to play that simple style where it's hard, physical, the little bounces are the ones that go in, stuff like that. I think our team knows what we need to do in terms of simplifying our game, but normally when it's physical and chaotic, I think is where I do well. So I don't know if that's the best thing, but it should be good for me.
Kind of building off of that too, we've seen the lines change a lot in the last month, and now that you're kind of set in stone with Sprong and Glass, I think that line is going to be really exciting against this Carolina-style team. What excites you just about playing with those two, and how they maybe complement how you like to play, whether it's chaotic?
Yeah, no, they do a great job. I mean, Glasser's great defensively, and I think we have a pretty good mesh together, and Spronger's going to shoot the puck, so just being able to read off of what's going to happen. Normally, if you get Spronger in a spot where you know he's going to shoot, you can figure out where to go from the rebound instead of looking for a pass. And then, so I think we do a pretty good job of reading off of each other. And like I said, just simplify. I think that Glasser's really good in terms of simplifying his game and playing that style of hockey. And if we do that, we can get Spronger an opportunity to shoot the puck. He's pretty good at it, so should be a good mix for us.
You and I talked a couple of days ago just about the excitement here for you. Have not played a playoff game yet in your career. What are you most looking forward to now that we're at this juncture of the season?
Probably, the excitement, the atmosphere, and just, going into battle with my teammates. I mean, that's something that you grow up watching all the time, every year. And yeah, just excited to be a part of it.
Are there moments in your career, whether junior or playing in college or what, that you can sort of draw on big championship type of moment? You know what I mean? Because it's completely different, right?
Yeah, it's completely different. And I'm talking to some of the guys and trying to get their take on it, but I'm sure it'll be different for everyone. Most recent experience I can think of is playoffs in the AHL, but even that is obviously going to be much different than NHL playoffs. So, no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to try and stay in the moment and enjoy myself. What
are some of the things that maybe you say you're asking some teammates? What are sort of the things that you're picking up on from that?
I'd say just for game one, the start is probably going to be crazy. First period, everyone's going to be hitting everyone and running around, and so just to be prepared for that physicality, that emotion, and the competitiveness out there.
As a defenseman against Carolina and their forechecking things, what are the most important parts of the game to get through that and get through that pressure?
I think getting back quickly, sprinting back for pucks, because they're obviously going to be, they hound you pretty good. They're a good forechecking team. And then, maybe if you don't have a play, resorting to a chip out or a flick out and kind of getting the puck back, on their side of the red line and getting our pressure on them.
Marky's a guy who loves to play the puck behind the goal. How much of an asset can that be against a team like this if he can get out there and move it?
Yeah, that's huge for a defenseman. Anytime the goalie's playing the puck back there, it definitely takes some of the burden off us. And, they're going to come in waves. They're going to play a heavy forechecking game. So, yeah, Marky's been huge for us all year playing the puck.
Well, then you guys are about to, head off to Raleigh right now. I mean, what are sort of the emotions that you think your team is sort of feeling as you get ready to embark on this journey?
I think they're just excited to go. Obviously, we've known for quite some time who we were going to be playing and all of that. So, when now you get the schedule and then now it gets closer, you're going to get on the plane. It's just, the guys just want to get after it and play, which is probably is a good thing that we play in the afternoon and just get right to it tomorrow.
What have you sort of liked about these last 2 days of practice, just the way the focus, and again, with that afternoon game, you're not going to get something in the morning tomorrow?
Yeah, I just thought the energy was good. We've tried to, especially here today, keep it short but be hard and purposeful. So that the attention from the players was good, taking things from our meetings here over the last little bit and taking it to the ice, which I think is really good. And then the hope is that it sinks in, and then by the time they hit the ice tomorrow, they're just get ready to go out and play.
I saw you chatting with the Glass line for a little bit. I'm wondering, what are you looking for from them about what you're going to ask from them in this series in particular right now?
Well, I just think, I think that their line has the ability, to create some offense for us. I think there's some players there with, some ability to, if they get an opportunity to put it in the net. Also, guys that can hang on to the puck, and that's going to be really important in this series. But then also just, that what comes with that is managing their pressure and managing the defensive responsibilities that come with playing in the playoffs and against an opponent like this that's going to put us under a lot of pressure. So that was really it, just touching base with them as I will, with each line as we go through and just make sure that they're clear on everything.
Sheldon, is there any advantage at all to starting the series on the road, knowing how well you guys have played on the road this year?
Yeah, we feel confident about our ability to play on the road, no question. I think the playoffs are a whole different animal, of course, and you need to reestablish that. Not an easy place to play, but obviously you can't win a series if you don't take care of things on the road in our position without having home ice. So, yeah, it's really important just to get right to it and meet probably the biggest challenge in terms of playing on the road. Meet it head on and get right at it.
And I know I've asked you about Dumoulin before, but I'm just curious, is it kind of, how quickly he's kind of gotten into the groove of things, and it was kind of seamless for him when he came over here, knowing the veteran type player he is. Did that surprise you at all, of how well he kind of grasped things?
I wouldn't say I was surprised. I mean, I just think he's played a long time. He's played in some high stakes environments. He's won the Stanley Cup. He's been in the league and played on different teams, different coaches, systems, teammates, all that kind of stuff. So that's why you target a veteran guy like that when you're in the situation that we were, losing Siegs, and when his name was on the list, it made sense to me, and I was happy that Fitz was able to find a way to get him here. He's been an important part for us, not having that left-handed guy in particular, and we had become to rely on Siegenthaler and Kovacevic so much, when we were playing our best hockey before Christmas, and to lose him is tough, and bringing Dumoulin in, I think has helped solidify it.
How important is it at this time of year that not only are the players just embracing their individual role, but the identity of every line this time of year?
I think it's really important. You want to be on the same page. You got to know what's required. I think you need to have identity for each line, but you need to have identity as a team and how you need to play. At this time of year and against this type of opponent, it's a very unique opponent. They play a very unique style, and you have to be prepared for that. So just having the lines connected and on the same page is important. But obviously, we've got to be flexible too. I mean, we're playing without Jack as we have the last while, and I think as a result, we've got to be by committee, but we also got to be flexible, and guys are going to move around. They're going to move around inside the game, and they got to be able to adjust to that as we manage the minutes and the matchups.
What makes their style so unique, Joe?
Well, it's just the pressure. It's just the pressure that they put on you in all three zones. They spend more time in the offensive zone and the least amount of time in the defensive zone than anybody else in the league, and it's not even close. They're in a league of their own in that regard. So that's what I say is really unique. You have to go into the game expecting that they're going to have a lot of control. You're not going to outshoot them. That's not our focus. We're going to outscore them. So that's really it. They control the game, for the most part when they play, but they don't win all the games. And we got to find a way to be one of those teams that can manage their surges and their pressure, but do our part to get enough goals to win the game.
One last one. I'm sorry, Pete. The fourth line. What went into putting that group together?
What is the fourth line?
Oh, well, that's a good point. I'll just say Pally and Bastian and Dowling.
I just think the skill sets. Obviously, I played Dowling with Palat a lot there down the stretch, and with Tatar, and I like that line. I just think similar skill sets: the skating, pressure on the puck, still ability to make a play and be their own players independently on offense. Made a decision to start with Bass there just because I just think his size and skating can be a factor for us in the series. So I think defensive utility, energy, all those kind of things are really important. So that's going to be a very important player for us in this series. You'll see him move around the lineup as needed. But I just think the skill sets work, and then also sort of the trickle effect of keeping that Glass and Sprong Cotter unit together. So that's kind of making it all fit.